There's a two-way pull. The falling value of the pound is likely to increase inflation, and offsetting that is a slowing economy. Tom Stevenson, Fidelity International. Following the UK's exit from the EU, what are you expecting to happen with the ECB rate decision this Thursday?
I think that the ECB will probably follow the UK's lead, and there'll be no change in rates, but a pretty clear hint that there will be more easing to come. The ECB is still very much having an easing bias at the moment. And the expectation is that Brexit will cause a slowdown in the Eurozone economy by maybe 0.5% over the next two to 3 years. So I think the expectation is that we will get some further easing in September.
UK inflation increased by 0.3% in May, and it is anticipated to move up. What do you predict will happen with the UK inflation?
So inflation rose to 0.3% in May. I think it will probably rise further in June, possibly as high as 0.5%. And that's largely on the back of rising petrol prices, which were up by more than 2% during the month. That will be offset by weaker food and clothing prices on the back of the recent poor summer weather in the UK. But overall, I think inflation will continue to rise. And if it does reach 0.5%, that will be the highest level since 2014. So it's a bit early to tell what the impact of Brexit will be on inflation, but there's very much a two-way pull. The falling value of the pound is likely to increase inflation, and offsetting that is the slowing economy.
The Reserve Bank of Australia left the cash rate unchanged at a record low of 1.75% during the meeting held on July the 5th. What should we expect from the meeting on Tuesday?
So the Royal Bank of Australia is also on an easing bias at the moment. Inflation is low. We've got new inflation figures out next week, which will probably be quite disappointing. The labour market is slowing. The unemployment rate was up to 5.8% recently, and I think the third key element here is that there's pressure from a rising exchange rate. So I think there's probably a 60% or so chance of a further rate cut at the August meeting, but that will become clearer from the minutes of the July meeting, which we're just about to see.
Thank you for your time today, Tom. Don't forget to click back on Dukers Copy TV for more programmes like this. But until then, goodbye for now.